guys, it's finally Friday.
No.
Woo! It's like, thank God it's Friday. I would usually
Yeah.
say the other, but I was a good girl. I said, thank God. I did say thank. So how is everybody tonight? We all good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, fine. Absolutely fantastic.
Stop me
What about yourself, Vanessa?
I'm dandy.
You dandy. That's what I like to see. Everybody's dandy. If you watch my lips moving and I'm counting, it's because Facebook has changed the settings when you share now. It gives you up to 10 places to share to. I think sometimes it's great, but I think also sometimes it's a pain in the hoop. So it's one of those things. So tonight, guys, we are joined with Vanessa Hogle. Now, Vanessa is doing Secret Islands tours. She's ambassador for 2025 in Scotland tour. Now, I will be joining Vanessa. She's got the hard work. She's the ambassador. I've got the easy job. I'm just the tour guide to make sure that everybody's is where they're meant to be. So I have got absolutely the easiest job. So before I begin, guys, what I will say is that if MD is looking for a break, a good holiday, and you love tours, I highly recommend Secret Island Tours. Now, to give you a wee bit of background, guys, next Friday I will have the creator of Secret Island Tours on our show. We'll have May. And basically what it is you get to spend, obviously, 9 nights, 10 days with an ambassador and the tour guide. You get to see different places. Now, it could be Ireland, it could be England, could be Scotland, wherever. And basically, guys, in that, you get to go investigations, you get to see beautiful places, you get to hang out with other people, and you get to hang out with the ambassador. Now, Vanessa's doing the June one. Now, July is going to be Paul Goddard. Paul Goddard is going to be doing the tour guide for Ireland. Now, guys, if I honestly, I would snap this up because it's really worth it. So if you are interested and you want to go on a tour, log on to secretislandtours.com and check it out today, guys. It is amazing. I'll quickly go into the comments. Hi, Nigel. Hey, Noreen, how's your cryptids? Noreen says, hi, Tim. Long time no see.
Oh,
Hi, Iron Fire. Mwah. You and me, we will tour the world, Iron Fire. Hi, Ed. How you doing, love? Now, Vanessa, to fill you in, I can't say cryptids. Right, so it sounds like I'm saying cryptids. So Noreen thinks this is the best
That's what you are
thing.
saying that. You are saying that.
Yeah, like this is the best thing since sliced bread. So, Vanessa, do you want to introduce yourself, honey, and tell people about who you are?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that interesting. It's hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm an author, and I've written quite a few books on my paranormal experiences, how I grew up doing this. My first experience, I was 2. I was blessed. It was my grandmother, whom she just passed away. I will be 53 next month. So she passed away 51 years ago, the 5th of this month. So she died February 5th before I was to turn 2 on March 14th, and it was her birthday as well on March 14th. So she was my first experience. And then it just snowballed from there. It was just crazy, and it has been my whole life. But so I've written experiences from that point forward. throughout the decades, because I'm decades old. And they encompass my life, my investigations, my experiences traveling all over the world, all over the country. And I take the Hollywood out of it. Some of it ain't pretty. Some of it is uncomfortable. But it needs to be talked about, because a lot of people out there have these abilities. I'm not special. Okay. A lot of people have these abilities, and they need to know how to deal with them, because it's more welcoming now than it was when I was young.
Yeah.
And when you're the creepy person when you're young, it is not fun.
No.
It's not fun. It's a horrible, horrible experience. And so that was my whole purpose for getting all that information out there. So I've got I think 8 books total. I combined 5 of them into one, which makes it a lot easier. So if anyone is interested in that, it's called They Would Have Burned Me on Amazon. So you're getting 5 books on Amazon in one big book. Okay. Excellent deal. Excellent deal. Because it costs a lot more money if they were separate. And with this tour, what we're doing, this will be my fourth time to Ireland. This time it'll be Northern Ireland. We did our last tour in the Republic of Ireland. So this will be my 4th time to Ireland, 2nd time to Northern Ireland. And this will be my 2nd time to Scotland. But pardon me while I do my little inside happy dance here. My 1st time to the Highlands. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my stars and my stoked. Now. Okay. So when I go over there, and what a lot of people don't know about, and especially if they're into the paranormal, if they're just into any type of spirit communication whatsoever, I don't even own a piece of paranormal equipment. I could not care less about that, because I just talk to them. Okay. And that's kind of like my purpose. But if people are at all interested in that, it's everywhere over there. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I wrote a blog years ago called Paranormal Chinese Food, because it's regional, how they behave and how they act, and it's so different than the States. It's so different. And they're brazen but polite, they are compassionate, but will tell you exactly what they think about you. And it is literally everywhere. I had a lady in Edinburgh. We stayed in an apartment above a little Chinese restaurant right down there on the mile from the castle the last time. And we rented a little apartment just for a few days. And this woman, bless her, dead, obviously, she kept me up all night long wanting to cook me bangers and mash. All night long. All night long. Okay. It just, but she was the sweetest thing. But persistent. Okay. Was not expecting that. Didn't even think that was going to happen in a rented apartment. Boom, it was right there. Me and my best friend Jana, we had walked we had been there, I don't know, a minute, and had walked into a little store down there by Starbucks, on the main road. Walked into a store to go get something, and stuff starts flying off the shelves because they're trying to get our attention. You seriously cannot walk in Edinburgh and throw a stone and not hit a dead person.
I know.
Blimey.
It's one of those things, and I suppose when you are connected to spirit quite intimately that way, it's a hard thing. I mean, I've had it myself where I actually managed somehow, don't ask me how, to take one spirit from one location to the next location with me, as though they had followed me all the way down and were trying to protect me. It was a child spirit, and I had picked it up from one castle, and it had followed me down to an abbey, and it was though it was protecting me. And I was like, I've got my own wee pal here, my wee protector.
But now there are some that are not so nice.
Yeah.
Or, and I'm sure you've heard of this one. He did not give me this name. I was told that this is what he's called. It's in Edinburgh, and they call him Mr. Boots. And yes,
In the
he's
vault,
not.
yeah.
The
He's not
Greyfriars.
pleasant. Yeah, we were down there in, I don't know, I get what do you call it, the dungeons or whatever it is, the
The vault.
catacombs, whatever it is down there.
The vault.
Yeah, and we were with a tour group because I wasn't doing a tour at that time. This was vacay. Okay, we were just on
Yeah.
vacation, and we were down there. It was me, Jana, Abby, and Laura, and we were down there, and I smelled this hideous smell. I mean, just awful. It was the oldest, nastiest, funkiest breath with whiskey in the world. It was just gross. And I looked over, and he is right here. He is standing right next to me on my right side. And I'm with a tour group, and there's a bunch of French tourists and everything. And he's standing right there, and he's breathing in my face. And he is trying to get me to respond. And I refuse because nobody there except for the girls I'm with knows I do this.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to make myself a spectacle. I'm on vacay. Okay. And then he shows me, he points down and gets my attention a different way. And he shows me one of the women that he killed. And it was bad, and I won't go into detail on this because I don't know what the rules are. But it was bad.
Say it as you see it, Vanessa.
Okay, well, she was a prostitute, and she was naked, and she was covered in blood. She was stabbed.
Yeah.
It was very bad. Not the worst I've ever seen, but it was very bad. And that was fun, so not all of them are nice, and not all of them, but you can get through those because he couldn't do nothing to me, just make me uncomfortable,
Yeah.
And I you know what? That's a good point. Can I make that point real quick? I think what people need to realize when you're talking about something like this, because again, I ain't special. Like none of us special. Everybody has this ability. They just got to tap into it. Okay.
Yeah.
I personally, and having done this for 51 years that I am aware of, 51 next month. I don't believe that they can physically hurt you, and there's going to be people raising their hands calling me a fibber. However, what they can do is get you so upset and so high anxiety that you can injure yourself or hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And I've been in some situations where I really could have been hurt, but I would, by not controlling myself and not grounding myself and not listening to myself, I would have contributed to that. It wouldn't have been a physical act from them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, that does make sense. You're actually the first person I've had on my show that's actually turned around and actually said that. True story. Because usually I've never actually heard somebody with that viewpoint, and I like it. I actually do really like it. And I like hearing people's different opinions. It's one of those ones of, people have a different outlook and paranormal, and that's great when you can have discussions like this. Like, my view about cryptids, I'm not a big fan of them, but I will cover them. Now, everybody assumes because I'm Scottish that I believe in Nessie, and I'm the most scepticalest person on Nessie you'll ever find. I think it's a load of gobshite. That's just my opinion, personal. And I know Nick gave me that look as in, you have brought shame to Scotland, Lois.
When you're talking about something like Nessie, honestly, let's go there for a second. Why can people not wrap their brain around it? Literally could be something that we honestly just thought was extinct.
Yes. There's canals coming into that, from down by the sea. Because it's a very long, isn't it?
Come on, son. You're sitting there, you're like that. I'm going to battle loose. I'm coming through to battle loose there.
Well, it's kind of like I liken that to this, that everything is a demon. Oh, for sake.
Oh,
Okay.
bless,
The people that
bless
say
my
that,
Holy
I'm gonna
Mary.
go ahead. Huh?
Bless my Holy Marys. I hate that word. That's another word that I'm just. Oh.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the people that claim that everything is a demon have never come into contact with anything close to a demon.
Yeah.
There is a very, very, very real difference. And in the many moons I have walked this earth, I can think of two instances where it was a very real possibility. One of those two instances, I'm pretty damn sure it was something along those lines, written about in my book. And if I never see that again, you couldn't make me happier.
I really
would that out?
I really would love to take Zach Baggins and dump him in holy water, put him under the water, come back up, now have a word with yourself. Is there really demons? And then put him back in for about 5 minutes. I'm going to go to the comments. Iron Fire says, I love Paul and his work. Paul's amazing. He is an amazing guy. Wouldn't that be brilliant? Iron Fire, I'm sure you would lead me astray. You are saying cryptots. Sorry, tits, sorry. How are you now, Barnsley? Hey, Jenny. Hey, Samantha. Noreen says, hi, Nick. I'm back. Had to let the plumber in. Oh, cheeky girl. Noreen says, hi, Jenny. Hope you're okay. Hi, Anita. They're just saying hi. Hi, William. Ironfire says, I want there to be an S. I agree on maybe a critter. They thought that was extinct or one they've never seen before. Here's the thing.
Now, let me say something, though. In the defense of possible Nessie, okay, in the defense, I do have to say this, and I'm not saying Nessie's out there or not. I know Nessie's right here. That's my nickname, Ness. Okay. But as far as the long neck one, that's not so much me. Okay. That having been said, is there a possibility? Always. And I'll tell you why. I was up in the New York area, Staten Island, Pennsylvania, Jersey, that area up there years ago, investigating a case. Disappearance, missing children, things along those lines. The Cropsey case. And we were at the cemetery of one of the victims of a person who is in prison for life for that. And on video, for the life of me, I will never be able to figure out what in the hell this was. But it looked like an infrared image, and you could hear it, of a winged creature that literally flew down, landed on the ground directly in front of us, and you could see its feet, and as it moved out of the camera range. Wow. And this is all on was infrared night vision, whatever that is. Yeah. And I have the video. And people are like, is that the Jersey Devil?
Yeah.
Wow.
Say that. Yeah.
And you would never convince me that was real.
Definitely not. Hey, GB. Jen, guys, is in the house from Paranormal NL Podcast. Please, guys, go check this lady out. She's absolutely wonderful. Jen, I would definitely check Vanessa out. She's cool as well. Hey, Robert, where have you been? Have you fell down Loch Ness? Do I have to come looking for you? Right, sorry, Nick.
No, first off, I just got to say real quick, Vanessa, great to see you again. Long time no see, I got to admit.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Oh, do you two know already?
Yeah,
do you two know each other already?
We've actually met in person, believe it or not.
Oh,
It was a long time ago.
It was like 2019. I think it was like 6 years ago now.
Mhm.
Jesus.
It was in Illinois.
Yeah, in Alton for
Yep.
Mike Ricksecker's events.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh goodness, what was that place called?
the Mineral
Oh
Springs
crap!
Hotel.
Help me. Thank you. That's the one.
That was a great
That's
event.
the
I really
one.
wish Mike could do another event like that.
That was a neat place. That was a really neat place. I don't think they're doing anything there anymore.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's also closed down, but the only issue I had, obviously, was hot as hell in that building. But other than that, the event was great.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I did it twice, and it was a good time. It was a good time.
Oh.
Had a
You
blast.
come out to Spook Show Con too, but unfortunately, I know you were unavailable. But we were supposed to meet up a third time, but unfortunately, you already had a lot going on.
No.
My life is nuts.
Robbie
My
says,
life is nuts.
I've got lots of holy water if you need some. Give me a gallon. What kind of feet did it have? Iron Fire's asking.
Okay, it was weird because it looked like really big, almost like, okay, so not, it would have been like not gargoyle, but like the big turkey feet where you have the one toe in behind with the nail, and then the others in the front. But keep in mind, it was an infrared image, so it wasn't like it was in full corporal form. But you could see the wings, and you could see one foot land and the other foot land, and you could hear it.
That really sounds like
Griffin feet.
Griffin.
That really sounds like the Jersey Devil. I mean, I know a lot
Similar
of times
to
tracks are more described as hoofed feet, but I have heard of a few other descriptions.
Hey, Lovey.
Oh, I definitely don't claim to know what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know, which I did, but it didn't try to hurt any of us.
Right.
You know, so I'm a live and let live kind of gal. If you're not bothering me, I'm not bothering you. I don't care what you are.
Do you know what? That's so good to hear, because we were talking about black-eyed children last night, and well, it was actually. Do you know what?
Well, I had the doctor's appointment.
Oh well, Nick, you had obviously weren't there because of the thing, but we're talking about black-eyed children, and I had posed the question, what would you do if you seen a black-eyed children? And I actually really liked Mark's answer last night, and he says he would help it because he'd be curious to see where the black-eyed children would lead them. And as I said last night, people would respond better to children, and because children are at that level when it comes to being at level with spirit, and you're more likely to help a child and an animal than you are an actual human. Let's face it. And I think it's quite a fascinating concept. Personally, if it was me, I would be a nosy bitch and want to know where you're going. I'd be like, hi, I'll help you, no problem. If you want to kill me, no problem, but I want to see where we go first. Sort of thing. They'll probably say, what are you saying?
The thing is, one man's devil is another man's angel. Okay. And I think we forget that. I think that when you're talking about something that has what people might perceive as negative connotations, maybe their first reaction should be to look within themselves and see, why am I perceiving this as negative? And my best example for this is I do a lot of remote viewing, and I was remote viewing for a team out of Sheffield, England, and they had a private investigation that they were doing for a family. And they asked me about it because the family was having a lot of difficulties with this. And so they, the family thought it was negative, understandably so, not judging them whatsoever. Any other team, for the most part, would have went in there and treated it like it was negative. The team that I was working with, contacted me and asked me to look into the situation remotely, and I did. And then when they got there, they also did, a video, not video, they did live with me there with them, not on TV, not on wherever the people could see it, but so I could, and I could do a walkthrough. And what they were dealing with was a person who was deceased, who was older, but who was special needs. Oh. And that special needs, this isn't Ghost Whisperer, okay? All that stuff doesn't go away when you die. And I think that people need to get that ideology out of their head. Life isn't roses when life is over, because it depends on what each person's journey is and where they're at and where they're going, okay? Yeah. And that is what they were dealing with. And once they knew that they were dealing with someone who was 35, 36, but had the mentality of a 4 or a 5-year-old, it changes the perspective.
Yeah.
And it changes how you deal with it, and you have a better understanding, and there are so many cases that are that way, that are, it's a lack of proper understanding, verbiage, communication, time frame, so many things, just a lack of culture, so many different things that play a part in it that people don't think of.
Well, do you know what? Can I just say, we have a lot of, when you go to investigations, we find in a lot of people, if you get spirits coming through, old spirit, not old, but whatever age from years ago, they can't read or write.
Exactly.
So people going on the boards, right? And they're trying to get some, and they're saying, oh, they're just messing with us. They can't read or write. Yeah? Yeah. Simple. That's what it is. They've got no education.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very common, wouldn't it?
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll go to the comments. Here's May herself. May says, hi all. Hi Vanessa, how you all getting on? Just pop in for a few minutes. May is the lovely lady that's coming on next Friday, guys, from Secret Island Tours. So I'm really looking forward to it. Jen says, I've got to get you all on this season. Interesting stuff, definitely. Hi, Nicola. Hi, Sam. William says, I've got loads of chamomile tea if anybody wants some. Good for depression, Lil. So nice to see Vanessa Hogle. Yeah. So, do you know what, Vanessa? You brought up a really good point. You have brought up a really good point, and we kind of touched on basis on last night, but we didn't really say much about it. Actually, I've just realised I'm a bad boss. Happy birthday for Pickle Tom. Happy 50th.
I thought he was going to show up for a minute.
I know. He talks a load of shit to my ears. I think he just tells me he's coming on to make me happy. But happy 50th from us all, sweetheart. Have a good time and drink plenty.
I've no trouble with that.
He probably has already.
He's probably lying in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
He'll be alright. He'll be here the next Thursday. But you really did make a good point, Vanessa. And I've really actually, and I'm sitting here quite content listening to you, and very, very content listening to you.
Thank you.
Because you've made a very good few points on the fact of how people perceive things in the paranormal. Now, the other problem that you're up against is this. It's movies, right? I'll use this as prime example, and I'll use aliens. I'll just circle it around aliens, right? So, in films, there's loads of films about aliens, right? In all shapes and sizes and looks and everything else, right? And you always make them look like they're bad people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and also Wayne, who boo Dutch does tonight. Don't worry, I'll get him too. He made a good point. What if these aliens, right, for all the movies make them out to be scary, they kill you, blah, blah, blah. What if these turn out to be the most friendliest wee people you've ever met in your life? And film has perceived it as being same as vampires. How do you know vampires?
Yeah. Can I just say, hitting on that, and it's mixing in with what we've already touched on here.
Real quick, this is in the chat right now. Here's Tom McNicholas, speaking of which. Sorry, Len.
Okay. Hi, Tom. Yeah, so this black-eyed children, or the black-eyed people, I was talking about this guy that came to our factory years ago when I worked in toiletries and stuff like that. And he was an electrician. He came every 6 months, and I couldn't look at him. He frightened me to death, 30 odd years ago. Jet black eyes, filled his eye black. And he was pure white. And I couldn't, there was an aura from him. Couldn't look at him. Couldn't go near the man. Frightened me to death. And, but if I seen a grey alien, wouldn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
How weird's that?
It's good. Well, look at the person. Was it in France? I'm sure it was France. The gentleman has actually went out and got pure surgery. Now I think he's on TikTok or Instagram, and he's transformed himself into an alien facial wise.
Oh.
And honestly, I kid you not, he's one of the influencers. I don't know, because that's really bothered me, because every time I see him, I always mean to bring him up.
What was you going to say, Vanessa?
I was going to say, as far as the gentleman that you saw with the black, with his eyes and everything else, and the more pale skin, his energy was probably what threw you off. And he could have had the bluest eyes and the prettiest hair and everything else, but if he had a negative aura or negative energy, it would have had the same effect.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to throw something else out there that you don't have to agree with me. You don't, okay, and I think a lot of people might not agree with me, but it's like when you're talking about shadow people, everybody always assumes shadow people are bad. No, for heaven's sake, no. Maybe that is all the energy they have got to show whatever they can. Okay, because it takes a cool minute to get that energy up to be able to get any type of form or shape to let your presence be known. It takes a lot. And I have to say, and this is, I think, what a lot of people might disagree with, I think it is a subconscious thing that people automatically assume
spot on.
Black is negative and white is
because there's too much talk about people seeing shadow people, these evil things. It's bad. I've seen quite a few. Some have frightened me, some haven't. I've chased some.
That's the same thing with me.
Look at what has been pushed. You have to look at what has been pushed into our heads for decades and decades and decades and decades.
Yeah.
And I have to say that is the racial profiling of the paranormal.
In a way, I will admit, because I've had my share of them too. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, by seeing one, it certainly can't be frightening. It can certainly startle and surprise you, but that doesn't mean that it's negative. In fact, the closest one that I've ever, have encountered was at a building called the Rossville Opera House, which is in Rossville, Illinois. It's like in the central part of the state. Sadly, the guy who owned it, he passed away a number of years ago, so they don't do investigations anymore. But there was one time when I was going up, this was about 10 years ago, I was walking up the stairs to meet up with the rest of the crew, and as I'm walking up, probably just maybe no more than 6 feet away, I would say, I mean, I was in the center of a staircase, and there was a room to one of the other floors, and right there was the shadow person standing right. And even though it was dark inside, I could still see the outline. Of course, startled the hell out of me when I saw it, but I did not feel anything bad from this particular entity, despite the fact that, even 6 feet, that's pretty close to something, to an entity like that.
No, absolutely.
So it was
Right.
it would pretty much be my way of saying I really was up close and personal with one, but I never felt anything bad from it. It was just, and I knew it was watching me. And it was there for maybe just a second, and before I could really think of anything else, it disappeared.
I found the photo, right? So this is what the gentleman looked like before, right?
Mm-hmm. Damn.
And
Okay.
this is what he looks like. This is what he looks like now.
Holy cow!
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Check that out. That's quite I would have said that's quite a makeover.
He has got a documentary. His name is Lafredo. I transformed myself into an alien. Or you can find it under the Black Alien Project, which was aired on Channel 4 in June 23. So it is. It takes also.
But let's go ahead and say it. As long as he is happy.
Do you know what? I am going to put the cat amongst the pigeons here, right? But if I had to meet him on a dating site, and he had a great personality, and he was really down to earth, and people would think I'm a freak, and he treated me like a princess, I would date him, regardless of what he looked like. And people are thinking, holy God, you are a freak. I'm not a freak. I don't care whether you've got 2 peg legs, 1 arm. I don't care if you have cross-eyed or whatever. See, as long as you treat me all right, I'm more than happy, because looks is. And honestly, if he became, like, if I had to go with him, I would love hundreds of bottles. I wouldn't consider it, because there's a lot of people out there that does transformation, like to themselves. I mean, there's one gentleman who wanted to become a parrot, and he's actually cut his tongue, and he has got like the parrot colours on his face. There's a lot of people who do it. I
was in dentistry for 25 years, so I always worry about the stuff done to the mouth. But you know what? If, whatever makes somebody happy, as long as they're not hurting anybody else.
Yeah,
I'm not going to judge them.
I think it's a yearning, a longing to be like that. It's a personal longing that they want.
Yeah.
That's how they want to be.
Sure, though, is that Iron Fire Horse.
Go for it.
One thing for sure with Iron Fire Horse, that definitely must have cost him a fortune.
I would have gone. What she said was aliens among us in human bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Tom says Vanessa gave me an excellent reading.
Yes,
Round says, have you ever met a vampire? Yeah, down in tax office. Daytime. Well, Iron Fire says one of Elon's baby mamas had worked to look like an elf in the show.
Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised?
Well, put it this way, here's a funny question for you. If you guys could
Christmas, yes, always.
If you guys could transform yourselves into anything in this world, what would you transform yourself into?
Oh God.
I'd be taller.
Tall.
I'd be taller.
Honestly, being tall is a pain in the ass.
I reckon
5'1".
an eagle.
Something off the top shelf in the grocery store.
Right, Vanessa, don't worry about it. Don't worry. I was 5'1" when I was 16. I'm now 4'10" and a quarter.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, I haven't grown since the 6th grade.
We Lenny, she needs to
up the shelves in the supermarkets to get stuff off.
Yeah, I have to get people to help me.
Yeah.
She needs a booster seat when she's driving.
Oh,
in fact, I heard that we like that with a horn.
Nodding dogs on the front.
Oh my goodness.
How tall are you, Tim?
Pardon?
How tall are you?
5'11", I think it is. 5'10", 5'11".
Oh, you're just a wee bit taller than
I'm
me.
not normal. I'm not normal. Nowhere near normal.
Well,
what were you going to say, Lois?
What height are you, Nick?
Well, before I say it, Vanessa should know, again, since we met in person, you know I'm pretty tall, Vanessa. So I'm about 6'1", 6'2".
Wow, holy fuck. I'll need to get a step ladder.
Even Joe has said to me that I'm huge, so I'm quite intimidating sometimes, despite that I'm usually a gentle giant.
I'll need to get one of your shopping carts and stand on top of it just to give you a cuddle.
Hey, Kate's here. What's up, Kate?
Yeah. Yo! Woo, Kate. How's the birthday boy? Did he make an appearance?
I actually did message him saying, Tom, where the hell are you?
Do you know what, Kate? Know what we say to Tom? That's what we say to Tom.
You got that from me.
4 times over. Noreen says, bloody hello, crapped myself. My lamp just went off and now came back on. Wasn't expecting that. Iron Fire says, a younger version of me, lol. And he's laughing. Tom said, I Nick, only when you were your pickle shoes.
Don't have pickle shoes.
But I hope you've had fun, Vanessa, and I hope you definitely come back, my love.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I can't wait to see you in Scotland. We're going to have fun.
It really will be.
It's definitely been great to catch up with you, too, after so long.
That'd be so good.
I'll be honest with you. I was expecting Tom, and I'm sure Tom would be thinking the same thing. We were expecting to see you the following year, in 2020. But, of course, when COVID hit, it changed everything around.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'll be at the, oh, goodness, the Esoteric on the Rock Island.
Oh, you know what? I actually might be going out to that this year, so maybe we could definitely make up for lost time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be a vendor out there.
Yeah, Rock Island, like where I live, because as you know, I Tom and I live in Chicago. Rock Island is only about 2.5 hours away, maybe 3 from where we live. I know it's right along the Illinois-Iowa border. So, yeah, we're not too far from that. So, yeah, most likely we could probably make it out to that.
Yeah, they wanted me to do it right after I got back from Iowa the last time, but I couldn't. My job is.
I was supposed to be there last year too, but I just didn't have a way of getting out there. But I'm already planning ahead of time of putting that into the calendar so I can make it, because obviously there's a lot of other people. Oh, there he is! There he is!
Hi.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you late bastard. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I would have been here earlier, but I had to go get my taxes done earlier, and then I had to go see Tommy. I have to get my birthday hug. And then afterwards I had shopping to do. Then I had to come back here. I had to put wash in, and then I had to answer all the birthday wishes. And that's when Nick messaged me, and I said, "Well, I'm answering.
Yeah,
Hang on."
I'm like, Tom, where the hell are you?
And then right as I got done, my phone rang, and it was my mom. I can't not answer his mom. She wanted to say happy birthday and all that. So,
Tom, this is Vanessa. Vanessa, this is Tom.
hi.
Yeah.
Welcome to the madhouse.
Tom's usually this Tom, unlike Tom McNicholas, is usually the guy who is kind of like the village idiot.
This coming from the guy who can't not destroy stuff in a video game.
Can I just say, Tom, I owe you an apology.
Why?
I owe you an apology. I now need to take these 4 fingers and stick them right up my...
What?
Because you didn't. I thought you weren't coming on, so I said that was to you.
Oh. No, I told you
I'll take them. I'll take them back.
Well,
Peace.
Well, actually, no. You got to do it this. No, wait a minute, Kate. Kate. Lois, you got to do it this way. That's why it's 5. It represents 50.
Wait a minute. We'll try and do a wee bit of Star Trek in here.
Oh,
I can't do my fingers on that side, but I can do it that side.
That's live long and prosper.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? So you'll know for it with me. Don't insult Kate
Most people
by
can't
using...
do it with both hands, but
I did mean to say Kate.
Oh. No.
Do you know what it's like working with chopsticks? I can't do chopsticks for the life of me. But
are you jointed?
You don't need chopsticks or your aggies.
You can tell you're double jointed. Can you bring your thumb back and touch?
Oh no! Don't do that! Don't do that.
I could show you my party trick and run my finger right across my eyeball.
Oh God!
Kate, I sent you a message, by the way. You may want to check it out.
So wait a minute, Tom will be pickled by now. He's actually sober. Oh my God!
This is my first beer of the day.
Did someone just say, am I just dreaming? You must be dreaming. Happy 50th, Tom. I can drive fine, but need assistance walking for now. Oh, sorry to hear that.
You guys heard of what he went through, right?
No.
He had to get a... Well, as I'm sure some of you guys know, he's been having a lot of issues, and he just had to get one of those shots to his spine. And,
ow!
Yeah,
oh.
He's been in a lot of pain. I mean, he and I spoke on the phone the other night. He says he's fine if he's just like sitting down. You know,
he'll be fine. He'll recover quick.
But but for the time being, he's in a lot of pain. He's got to walk around. So it kind of also update you with Tom Vanessa. For now, he also has to kind of walk around with a cane until he heals up. So he's been through a lot. But we'll see how he is over the next couple months.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, that's not till October.
Yeah, exactly. So there are other events in between we want to go to, but it all depends on how he is.
Iron Fire says happy birthday. Nori says happy birthday, Tom. Hartha Century. 5 decades. I don't mind. I'm thinking you're more good looking than me, Kate. And there he's saying that I'm you. But guys, it's been a great show. So Vanessa, what's been your best experience?
In what way? In the paranormal?
What's been
oh, good gravy. Okay, no, hands down, working with the police to locate a missing person.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
He was deceased, but they were able to find him, and they were also able to prosecute the person responsible.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
Blimey.
Yeah. So, hands down. Now, I don't like doing those. I don't. I mean, I don't seek them out because what if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, but this person found me before the police did.
Yeah.
And so when they
Oh, wow.
contacted me, I already knew who they were looking for. So
Do you know the thing is about these cases? I know a lot of people turn their noses up when they hear that psychics or mediums that are working on cases, like cold cases and things like that. Now, I'm all for it. See if you've tired out every avenue that is known possible to man, you will go anywhere to look. And if that means coming to you guys who are in the higher realm, then why not? Because as Noreen says, it's an amazing gift. And it must be one of the most hardest as well, because when you are doing cases that could be like, I'm not saying that every case, no, all cases are important, but what I mean is children one must be the hardest to work with. How do you switch off after doing cases like that, Vanessa?
it's hard to separate yourself from it.
Yeah.
That particular gentleman, I already knew he was dead when he came to me. When one of the cases that a friend of mine came to me for about a missing child, there wasn't information about the child being deceased, but I was getting information about who was associated with the child. And what was very frustrating about that was it trying to get someone to listen to you was so hard because the local law enforcement wouldn't listen. FBI couldn't listen because they had not been invited in. So they were not legally allowed to accept my information. Right. So they said, please contact the local law enforcement again. And I tried contacting the local law enforcement again, not telling them who I was, saying that I had information on the missing child. So as far as they knew, I lived down the street and saw what happened. And they turned me away again. And yes, and then I contacted Crime Stoppers. And they didn't have any way to accept because I do a lot of automatic drawing where I draw out what the person looks like. And I do this with missing person cases. I do this with remote viewing, with spirit communication and things of that nature. And they had no way to receive the photo. And at that point in time, I just said, screw it, because I keep a lot of that stuff private. That's nobody's business. I'm working with law enforcement, so I don't accept pay for it. It's nobody's business. I'm not looking to get famous for that. But I did take that to social media. And I said, okay, I can't get anyone to listen to me. And I need to know if anyone knows who this person is. I am not saying they had anything to do with it, but I am saying that they are connected. Can anybody please help? And it ended up being the little girl's mother's boyfriend.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh,
she was deceased.
That is horrible. Do you know what? What I'll do one night is I do a crime show on. It's usually a pre-record on a Sunday into Monday. But I've also got a Tuesday slot just now. And what I might do actually is I might do a special if you're up for it, because there is another person who works some cases as well. And what I might do is get the two of yous on and do like a sort of special. Obviously talking about mediums who work out in cold cases. Because I find it really, really interesting, Vanessa. People are skeptical. You know, I'm sure you work with a lot of people.
But can I address that though? They should be skeptical. They should be.
Yeah.
They should be, because, and I'm going to be very honest about this. Can I do it? Yes. Will I do it? Yes. Do I want to do it? No. And the reason I don't want to do it on a regular basis is because there is always, and I don't give a shit who you are or how good you think you are, there is always a chance you're wrong.
Yeah.
There's always a chance you're wrong. And if there was any question about that, research Sylvia Brown. Because she told families, bless her, and I'm sure she did an amazing amount of good work. But she told families that their daughters were dead.
Yeah.
And they died thinking their daughters were dead. And those girls were being kept in a basement. And they were actually rescued. There is always a chance. What if I and it cost their child's life? You know, what if I did not give them the right information? And there are people out there that will seek attention for doing this type of work. I don't want attention. I don't want that. Don't give it to me. Okay. And that is, so when I say that they should be skeptical, 100 freaking percent.
Yeah.
They should. Now, when you have verifiable information, accept it.
Yeah.
But always keep your skepticism. Always.
Yeah, definitely. No, I know that obviously we're kind of pushed on time because I know you can only do an hour, Vanessa. Quickly, do you want to tell people where they will find you? Like, have you got a Facebook group, Facebook page?
Over there.
Yeah, I'm right here. Yes, I have a TikTok. I'm never on it. I have a YouTube. I'm never on it. I have an Instagram. I'm never on it, but I'm on Facebook. You know, I mean, I just
everywhere except
on Facebook. I have my author page on Facebook. I'm never on it. So just go to my regular one. It's public. You know, I'm not bougie. Yeah, I'm not bougie. It's just, and I'm so vanilla. It's under Vanessa Hogle. Yay! I mean, it's just me.
You don't want to be like those bougie YouTube people, man. They're the worst.
Yeah, there's this.
I'm just
guy named Tom Nally who has this crazy channel called "This Is Tom's World." And
it sounds horrible.
In fact, Vanessa, have you ever?
Huh?
Have you ever watched this, because there's a program that I watch on YouTube, right, called This Is Tom's World, right? And there was one episode where he ran and challenged a bear for the salmon. And he took the bear and he went to bite the bear. And the bear spun kick him. So he kicked the bear in the shin and then kicked the right in the balls.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh my goodness.
It's a commercial.
True story.
It's a true story, isn't it?
That's not quite what I meant by bougie. For me, for me, I guess the best way I can explain it is what you see is what you get. And then, when people, I have to label myself a psychic medium because people need a label. I prefer, my name is Vanessa and I know shit. Or I talk to dead people, you know, and I'm a pretty decent drawer and I can draw your dead people, you know. That's what I prefer because, again, I will state this until the day I die. Nobody that does this is any better than anybody else. Nobody is special. Nobody is more gifted. We all just do it different.
Yes.
So honestly, you have been like you've been like a breath of fresh air. We definitely need to get you back without a shadow of doubt, guys. I need to end it here, guys, because Vanessa needs to go. Tom, have a very happy 50th birthday. Whatever you're doing tonight, please stay safe. Make sure.
I'm going to Atlantic City to gamble.
I was going to say, how's it feel to be 35 years old, divorced, and living in a van down by the river?
Well.
It's great. Nori says it's a hard thing to do because a lot depends on the medium's interpretation of the information given. You may have the right information but be slightly off in interpretation. Then people say, oh, they're rubbish, blah, 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 but they're really on the track. Joe, I hope you get well soon, my love. Happy birthday, Tommy, old man. Happy birthday, you filthy animal. Kate says, good. Iron Fire.
Willow, can I address something just real quick with what that person just said? Just real quick before I got to go, because I got a shit ton of readings. She's not wrong. Okay. She's not wrong. And that is one of the reasons why, like with the readings that I do, the majority of the people that I do readings for are referrals, because I almost never advertise. And I don't mean referrals on Facebook. They give them my phone number and they text me. So I couldn't pick these people out of a lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about them. I don't know nothing. I'd have their first name and I do their reading. And so it's not wrong on that. When it comes to like, there are people out there that, you know, like with interpretation and people thinking it's rubbish because there is so much stuff out there that is obviously fake. And it kind of puts that thought in your head.
Yeah.
So I get that. And if I misunderstood that, what Noreen was saying, I apologize because I'm trying to read it. But I don't have my glasses on. Sorry. I was trying to be bougie. Actually, this is worse. Okay. So, cause I don't have my readers on. Good gravy. But yeah, so I mean, I get it. But yeah, I got to go do my readings. Y'all, this was a blast.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Thank you so much,
Great seeing you.
Thank you very so much, guys. Bye-bye, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
So quickly, I'll just quickly go through the last of the comments. Happy birthday, you filthy animal. Skepticism is good. Still have no roots to the right arm. Oh, I'm so sorry, Joe. I hope you're okay. Iron Fire doesn't do Facebook. Kate loves Vanessa's accent. Sorry, I got a bit distracted there. Iron Fire, I'd let the bear have the salmon. See, if I knew Tom was coming running towards me, I would dive at the road and let the water get him. I meant interpretation of information from spirit. By Vanessa, Iron Fire says, "You've got me." Oh. But everybody have a good night. On Sunday, guys, I will do a pre-record for the Wests. What I've decided is I'm going to save Sunday nights to do my pre-records that I can release the gruesome ones on the Monday, and I'll keep Tuesday for the less gruesome ones.
Well, Sunday you got the competition though, you know, because the Super Bowl's on. So
yeah.
Listen, I don't care about Super Bowl.
I'm just saying, a lot of people will be watching.
You don't need Super Bowl when you've got Lois. Come on, have a look with yourself.
The Philadelphia Eagles are going to win it.
Hey, Tom, just real quick, I just got to say, so it's your birthday. Well, Lottie freaking da.
Lottie freaking da.
With Matt Foley again.
Thanks, guys. Fun show. Take care. You take care as well. Beautiful. On Tuesday, I haven't picked a subject yet. I'll work on that one. No, don't. I will be going in between on a Tuesday night of pre-record and a live. So I might do sometimes.
I didn't
I'm going to stick that right up your ear. So sometimes I will do a live. Sometimes I'll do pre-record. It just depends. So, my God, I've actually got a busy life here. Thursday, we have Rachel Hughes coming on with her team, Northern Frights UK. On Friday, we've got me, and that is it. Speaking of Super Bowl, I better go see how the plumber. Oh, you cheeky monkey!
Iron Fire, let us know what happened. How everything went with the plumber next week.
I don't want to know about these dirty films. In fact, that's what Nick was showing me last night. Noreen says good night. I love you, people. Good night, I love you. Love you. Right, bye, William. Bye, everyone. Everyone.